Eric Peterson with ArboRisk here. In today's weekly business tip, we're going to talk about what happens when you have employees in other states. Now, we've seen an increasing trend across the tree care industry of either tree care companies employing or hiring new employees either in another state as a remote worker, or setting up a crew in another state, or perhaps just going temporary into another state for like storm work or something like that. Whether it's a business decision to make more revenue or to get better talent, the reason really doesn't matter. In fact, at ArboRisk here, we have employees that work in 3 different states other than our home state because we were able to expand our marketplace and also then have the better talent. So a lot of different reasons why you might accomplish that or want to have employees in other states, but there's a lot of different management concerns with it. From payroll tax concerns, obviously sales tax for the services that you're providing, workers' compensation, different auto insurance laws, all those different things you need to take a look at. So if you're looking at doing other work in other states other than what you're domiciled in, I want to give you some tips from the insurance perspective, because your insurance agent needs to be part of that conversation, your attorney and your accountant all should be part of that conversation to figure out what you need to do to set up before you operate in another state. So really the first thing is you have to assess what is the work that you're going to be doing. Is it permanent? Is it a true crew that's going to be set up in another state? Or is it temporary work? And our article that we have posted here goes into the differences between the two. And let's take the regular or permanent work first. If you're going to set up a location in another state, it's fairly easy. You need to list that state on your workers' comp policy, your general liability policy, your property policy, and then any vehicles that are garaged in that state or that location or registered to that location, you need to list that on your business auto policy. So if you have a permanent location, you're going to be there, that's easy. Make sure that your insurance company, your insurance agent know to list that as a location on the policy. It also plays into the fact from a workers' comp standpoint, if an employee lives in another state but works across state lines with you in your home state, you got to make sure that you talk to your insurance company, and most likely you're going to need to add that state as a listed state because that employee could claim work comp benefits in either state, the one that they live in and the one they work in. So you want to make sure that you're covering your bases there. It gets a little more tricky when you talk about temporary work locations. Now, every state will look at it a little bit different. From a workers' comp perspective, some states require you to have work comp coverage right away, like New York. Other states will give you up to 90 days, and you need to be consecutively working there for you to have coverage, or for you need to have a specific coverage. So you need to look at what state you're going to be going into from a workers' comp perspective to see if you need to add that state as a listed location on your policy. General liability really is going to be covered wherever you go, as long as it's within the United States, Puerto Rico, United States territories and possessions like Guam, and Canada. All right, if you're in those areas, the general liability is going to cover you. However, the insurance company wants to know what states you're working in. So if you don't talk to the insurance company, many of them don't write insurance coverage in all the states. So if you're working with an insurance company that doesn't write in every state and you go into a state that they're not licensed in, they're going to have a harder time settling a claim, defending you, providing that protection that they promised to you. And probably what will most likely happen is you're going to get a non-renewal notice after that issue comes out, and you'll have to move your insurance policy. It's much better from a general liability, from a property standpoint, equipment standpoint, and vehicle standpoint, that you have the conversation with your insurance company about the states that you're going to operate in to make sure that there are no issues, to make sure that you're building a relationship between you and the insurance company so that they don't feel you're trying to sneak something past, so they feel that they're part of the risk management of your business. And when you start building that relationship, then you can get through any little claim bump or anything like that. But if they feel right away that they're being misled or you weren't being truthful with them, that's when you run into non-renewal problems. So that's just some tips on if you have out-of-state employees. If you have any other questions, reach out to an ArboRisk team member today. We'll help you make sure that you get your other state exposure sorted out very soon. Thanks, and be safe out there.